Over the last 4 or 5 weeks, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of information about the COVID-19 virus and what it does to people in the acute stages. And there's been justifiably a lot of concern about how we stop it and how we treat it immediately. That's absolutely appropriate in the acute stage, but there's something that's come about in this COVID-19 pandemic that leads me to have a little more concern about the long-term effects of it. The long-term effects of the COVID-19 virus simply aren't known yet. One of the things that we do know is that a number of people that have this virus present with terrible headaches. Some will have a condition known as anosmia. Now, anosmia is a loss of taste or smell. That is a critically important finding. For those of us that have done brain injury work like I have, when I see anosmia, my immediate thoughts go to brain injury. Do we have brain injury as a result of this? There's a very high correlation between this anosmia and loss of sense of smell or taste and cognitive problems or thinking problems that people have. We see it as a result of car wrecks and truck wrecks on a fairly regular basis. So anytime I hear about anosmia, my immediate thoughts, again, go to long-term brain injury. One of the things that medical professionals need to be on the lookout for after a patient has passed through the acute phases of this disease, as they recover from this disease, is to treat this like they might treat somebody that's had a bad concussion. They may need to evaluate them further and determine whether or not these folks have cognitive problems as a result of this. There is a potential of this virus passing through the blood-brain barrier and causing the brain to become inflamed and causing brain damage. We don't know yet what the long-term effects of this are going to be. We don't know if these effects, this anosmia, is going to be transient or if it's going to be longer lasting. But anytime that a patient shows that type of injury, at least initially, I would urge the medical professionals to at least consider some cognitive testing to see if other functions of the brain may be impaired, functions that we may not know about in the immediate aftermath. It is something that, again, that we've seen in personal injury litigation for a long period of time, and we know that there's a very high correlation between that condition and cognitive problems long term. So I want to urge each and every one of you to be safe out there. If you get this virus, if you have anosmia from this, to consider at least doing some additional cognitive testing. Like anything else, if you have this condition and you do some cognitive testing, if they find some problems, if they find some areas that may need some therapy, that can help you get back. One of the things that I learned about brain injury a long time ago is that when we know we have it, that cognitive therapy helps. It helps people recover. And most of the recovery that a person gets, they get in the first 3 or 4 months after an insult to injury, but they continue to get better for at least 2 years. And some people say even longer, they will continue to have some marginal improvement. It's really important in the event of a brain injury that a person do everything they can to get as much recovery as they can, as quickly as they can after the insult. So to the COVID survivors out there, first of all, we've all been praying for you guys, and we're glad that you're able to recover. If you've suffered from anosmia, please consider getting additional cognitive testing so that you can have better long-term functioning. We at the McCraw Law Group just want to tell folks that are going through any of this that we want to do what we can to help, and I thought the experience that we've had with brain injury might just give somebody maybe just a little bit of information, somewhere that they can turn, something that they can do to learn a little bit more about their condition so that they can get better and have better long-term outcomes.